What's up, guys? Today we're going to be talking about my favorite park skiing and freestyle bindings. We're going to be getting into the four types that I personally use that are common, and we're going to be talking about the differences and why you might want to buy one over the other. That way you can make your own decisions at the end of this video and get what fits you. So first, I just want to say that all these bindings I've used and trust. So any one of these is an amazing binding and will certainly get the job done. The main differences are going to be durability and quality and maybe aesthetics and build, what they're made out of. So I've aligned these four different types. First is the famous Look Pivot 12, the amazing Look Pivot 15, my bad. These are the Look Pivot 12, almost as amazing. The marker Griffons 13 and the Tyrollia Attacks. Now you might sound like I'm biased towards these. I am a little, I'll tell you why, but all these are great bindings, and I've ran a lot of the older pair of these. I got some newer pairs like the markers, and you can't go wrong with any one of these, so I want to stress that first. So first off, we'll start with the most budget option, which is the Tyrollia Attacks. Now these are a mostly plastic binding, but these are going to be your best value binding because they are light, they are rather durable, and they're the most affordable at I think about 200 bucks. You can get a new pair of these for 200 bucks. They mount really low, so as you can see they have a really low profile, and that's going to give you a really good feel on the ski, and the lightness is going to help you flick those skis around and keep your overall setup light. So if you want a light setup, these would be a really good choice. Or the Griffons are going to be your two lightest because they're the most plastic polymer binding. So some cons about these are that they will wear out a little bit faster, and the heel piece is kind of just your generic regular heel piece. It has no left and right play. They release kind of generically, but I do trust the release. So they don't have anything super special, kind of like a no frills binding that is going to get the job done, but it's going to wear out. In my opinion, in my experience, they do wear out, especially if you're doing hard park laps, charging hard. These are going to wear out a lot faster than something else. So moving up the scale, we're going to talk about the newer marker Griffons. These, you can never go wrong with Griffons. Although they're not my favorite binding on the market, they will always work and are always reliable. One more thing about these guys that they both have is they're real easy to step in fresh snow. So they're easy to step in fresh snow. The Griffons actually have this little plate to knock the snow out. So they're both really good for that. They're both very reliable. They're both going to hold you in, and they'll both be very light. The Griffons are just a little bit more expensive and a little bit more burly in my opinion, but they do have this plate that this sits on, which plays a little bit. So in my book, I might actually choose the Attacks over the Griffons. The Griffons are a little overrated, but they do always work, and they are a good binding for the most part. They're not excellent, but they will work. Very similar design. They just have a bit higher of a height here, so you can hopefully see. Like the wheels here on this one are about here, so you could see you're going to be all the way up here, whereas on this one the wheels end at about here. So you're several millimeters lower, and in the side comparison you can kind of see that these sit a bit lower, just a little bit lower in the binding on the attacks, which is why I think the attacks are really your best bang for your buck, but you might have to replace them in a few seasons. The griffons, I've had griffons last at least 5 years, and that's hard park, powder, slush, free ride skiing, so they will hold up, and they are a good binding. They're a good middle ground. Like I said, some downsides are that they will wear out faster than, let's say, a metal binding. They do have a good release, but they don't have anything fancy. And I've had these wheels roll out, or wear out, square out. I don't know if that was an older thing. These have wheels too, but I haven't squared these yet. So, decent binding. So this will be your more budget section. If you want to get something a little bit nicer, you could go for the marker, a little bit more durable, but like I said, really down in this category, I would probably pick the attacks. So now we're gonna move up to our Gucci tier, the, you know, show off your skis tier. I'm just kidding, but these are the nicer tier. So these, first we'll look at the Look Pivot 12s. These are gonna be very similar bindings. The heel pieces are basically identical. What you're getting with these is you're getting basically a heel that is all metal construction. Anything that's important is all metal. Weight, these are a lot heavier and you can feel it. You're getting a very low profile binding, so that's going to be a lot more sensitive than something like the Griffons, and it's going to be even lower than like these attacks. These guys have a little more plastic in the toe, so they have a whole toe plastic and these roller wheels here, but I will mention they are a bit more elastic than these guys. The Looks in general are more elastic than these two, which means that they will hold you in, so the boot will actually start to come out and give you a chance to save it and bring it back before it kicks you out. The Griffons are more elastic than the attacks, I believe, but they're not much more elastic. These guys are much more elastic. Some other benefits are the release. I just knocked that out of right here. There you go, I see it. So it's not anything bad. I had them loose anyway. It's not like it's falling apart, don't worry. But the toe pieces release a little bit different. These guys both go out, so the same design. These guys don't go out, but they kind of release to the side, so they have an easier release. I don't know if the new ones, I don't think they have this, but it does have the movable AFD, and you're just getting a much more longevity and durable binding, much more long-living durable binding. You're going to pay for that with a little bit of weight and obviously money cost, but these are a good middle ground if you want to spend a bit more and have them last a decent amount. These two will probably last in the same ballpark, I'm assuming, because of these plastic toe pieces. I'm betting that these will wear out faster than these, which are all metal, which we're about to get to, but probably hold up a lot better than these or these, just because the weight isn't on these wheels here for the most part, whereas this, you know, it's the toe piece side to side is directly on that. Here it's really not. It's pressed to the front of it, but it's not side to side on it. So I don't know that 100%, but I just have a feeling that these will last longer. The heel pieces will definitely last longer. Like I said, these Griffons have had this plastic track that these sit on wobble after not that long, which is really frustrating, which is why I recommend these guys over these guys. But these guys, you will not have the Looks, you will not have that problem. And moving up to our last nicest tier, we have the Look Pivot 15s, and these are an all metal construction. Like I said, the heels are the same. exactly the same really, but the toes are solid metal. And these are going to be best for those people that are really hard charging in the park and want a binding that's going to last years and years. That's why I spent the money and bought these, because I've worn out so many of these pair that I would rather spend the money and get the solid metal, because I just think it will last me that much longer. A lot of people report these lasting 10 years even. Don't know if that's true, but that's what people are saying online. That's what some people at the ski areas have said. You can also get these in an 18 din, so if you're a bigger dude or you're really charging crazy hard, you're gonna want something like this. And you're gonna pay for it though in money and weight. So these are by far the heaviest, and you have to want that in a ski. If you're a beginner, so we're going to overview everything now. If you're a beginner park skier, I would recommend the Attacks for sure. If it's your first park skiing pair or freestyle pair, I would get these. Learn the ropes. You won't get frustrated in fresh snow. They'll be light, work plenty long. If you have the money, get the Look 12s. They'll be a little heavier, but they will last you significantly longer. The Griffons, if you find them on a deal, they're always a good pair, but just not as good performance, I don't think, as these other two. So if I had to rate them, it just, like I said, it just depends. If you're looking for value, first pair, I would go with the Attacks or the Looks. If you're more intermediate expert, I would definitely recommend the Look 12s. If you want something lighter but higher quality, go with the Griffons. And if you want the best of the best, or something that's really going to hold up, that you can, that's going to be absolutely bomb-proof, unbreakable. Maybe you shouldn't say unbreakable, but it's going to hold up better than any of these, go for the Look Pivot 15. So if you don't ski park, but you just ski all mountain freestyle, you know, if you want something that's going to last you 15 years, if you're not beaten on it, these will last you forever. These will literally hold up so well. I have guys that I know at the mountain that are running the metal FSKs. I know it's not the same. I believe it's the FSKs, the Solomon FSKs, that are over 10 years old. They're a different design, but they're mostly metal, and they just hold up so much better. And they've put 80, 100 days a season on for 10 years, and they're still going. So it's up to you how much you want to spend. That's just my overview, my experience with them. As you can see, you know, why did I buy these different from my standpoint? I bought these as like my longevity pair, this pair that I'm gonna beat for a long time, beat on and not worry about them breaking. So this will be like my daily driver pair that I don't want to replace for a while. I'm mounting it on a nice beefy ski. That's the other thing to consider, what ski you're mounting them on. If you're already mounting it on like a heavy ski or something that you think is going to last, then go with these two. If you're mounting it on, you know, like a kid's ski, definitely go with like the Attacks or the Markers, because they're going to wear them out anyway or outgrow them. Unless you really have the money to spend and you want these, but you can transfer them. A lot of people have transferred these to different skis because they just last so long, but really it's just personal preference. Like I said in the beginning of the video, I trust all these bindings. I own all these bindings, and I'll be riding all these bindings this season on my different skis, just for different uses. These are my light powder touring skis. I ride these, not like true touring skis, but with the Day Makers. I have these on a light fat ski. They work great. These have been my daily driver for a long time, but I'm wearing them out. They worked great for a long time, but I've worn out 2 pair of these. In a while they have lasted, but like I said, they lasted 5 years about, and then they're toast. Whereas I'm planning that better performance Oh yeah, and not only elasticity on these guys, but obviously the heel rotates, so that's a much better feature than these other two. Like I said, it's much more elastic release. If you're interested in it, I made a video on each one of these individually, so check that out. But that's basically my summary. If you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments below. And I'll catch you guys out there this season. Oh, and don't forget to like and subscribe. All right, peace.